really poor performance today. That's what happens when you give up an 80-yard pass, a long kickoff return. You had 3 defensive offsides on third downs, interception for a touchdown, a safety for holding in the end zone, 3 very poor punts. Just really disappointing with the guys who played today.
What was the thinking, Mike, on sitting so many guys to the 30 minutes?
Yeah, we had, I thought we had two good days of work this last week with those guys, so we're going to give these other guys some opportunities to see if they can make the club. And, some of them proved us right and some of them proved us wrong.
Is that one of your main disappointments, Mike, is that some of those players today are expected to contribute this year and maybe didn't perform up to your expectation?
A lot of these guys are backup players, and the things they showed today was definitely not good enough. We give up a fade in the end zone. We're not even close to the guy. The bombs, the 2 young safeties, had a hard time today of knowing who's up and back and who's down. The long bomb, they bit on it, and Danzler didn't cover the guy. So.
Mike, you've seen these guys though. The guys that played today, do you feel are better than they showed today, or did they show weaknesses that you weren't quite looking for?
Yeah, I don't know, Dawn. Some of those same things kind of happened in practice with the guy. A lot of the guys that played. I thought Rose did a nice job running the football today. We planned on getting Kane a bunch more reps, and he got hurt early in the game. Some of that stuff has been going on.
Mike,
It kind of gets overlooked because you're really studying the good players.
Mike, on Kane, how serious does that injury look like it is?
I don't think it's serious.
Mike, with Dozier and getting Wyatt Davis some of those reps, did you just see enough just from the penalty, the safety, the hold early on to want to put Davis in earlier?
Yeah, we wanted to get him in early because he's a guy we have to take a good look at. That's all these backup offensive linemen. Brandell, so he played a lot today. Really all of them.
Mike, your early impressions of Kellen, how he played?
Oh, he was okay. I didn't like when he tried to shuffle past the ball to whoever it was, on the 1 3rd down play. He used his legs a couple times. He just has to, get moving a little bit quicker, and everything is like in slow motion with him, and he's going to have to improve that.
Are there areas of his mechanics specifically that you want to see him improve on more than just tempo?
No, not really. I mean, there's so many guys with different throwing styles and motions. Teddy's is different than a lot of guys, and so, it is what it is. He throws the ball fine. Does he take a little too much time reading sometimes? Maybe. But a lot of that is processing. There's a lot of things going on. Getting in and out of the huddle, the 2-minute drill, speeding guys up, so there's a lot of things that need to be, that will happen with experience, and so that's why I left him in the whole game, because I can tell he needs playing time.
You thought on Wednesday that he might not play.
I never said that. Somebody said, is it possible that he'll play? And I said, yes. He was always going to play.
Jake's play, Mike? Jake's play?
Yeah, it wasn't as good as it has been. Started out, they had the ball on the 2-yard line to start out with, so that wasn't real good either. But the interception for the touchdown was thrown behind the guy. I just didn't feel like he was as sharp as he's been the last maybe week.
Mm-hmm. How key, Mike, are these games too? Because guys can obviously look good in practice and be successful there, but then you go to games and it's a different environment. How important are these games just to see what you saw today from a guy like Jake, who, if he has to play,
that's
don't forfeit the game?
Yeah, it really is important that the funny thing, I guess not funny, but the little kid that caught the long touchdown pass, we practiced against him for 2 days. You'd think those guys would know his speed and what he's done. They went one-on-one against him. You'd think that, you know, Jake would have a pretty good idea on Surtain, on how he plays, and from going against him for a couple days. So, you know, you can't leave the ball hanging back behind a guy. You should understand the coverages that you're going to get because you just saw him for 2 days. So that part is disappointing.
Coach, I know that mistakes are always frowned upon, but with the third down penalties on defense not being rookies or young guys, is that a bigger frustration?
Yeah, it is. Maybe some of the young guys are better than some of those guys too, so we'll have to find out.
We've talked about needing a little bit more from some of those depth linebackers. What did you see from the Dyes, Surratts, Connollys?
Not much really.
Good to see Cam Smith at least out there after coming back from the open heart surgery, and how's his
Yeah,
concussion?
Cam's a good kid.
How's his concussion? Anything serious about it?
I don't know. All concussions are pretty serious.
Like, what's the approach from here to try to make sure this doesn't happen again with these guys?
I think I'm going to scrimmage with these guys that played today.
To have all those guys scrimmage against each other?
Yep. They need it, as it showed.
How much do you think starters might play next Saturday against Cincinnati?
Haven't decided yet.
Punting a bad day, or is that cause for concern? What
Pardon
you
me?
saw? I said, was Colquitt's day just a bad day, or is that cause for concern?
It's cause for concern.
Time for 2 more.
Mike, with Mond, was there like a concerted effort to limit some of it, like limit his throws today just because of how limited time he's had in practice?
No. I won't get into that right now.
Hey, Mike, on Mond too, is his, because you've talked about this about 3 times with his processing being slow. Is that the game being too fast for him right now, or are you seeing things that go beyond that?
No, I don't think the game is too fast for him. I think it's just him picking up the tempo a little bit as far as understanding. He's kind of a laid-back guy, doesn't really say a whole bunch. I think he's got to kind of get out of his shell a little bit, and if you're going to be the quarterback, you got to do those things. Okay.